Happy Sunday. Hello. I'm sure you meant to put Alexis. Hi, Janet. Happy Sunday. How was your week? Thank you, Janet. How was everybody's week? Last 2 weeks? I feel like this week went by very slow. Very, very, right? Would you say too, babe? I think this week went by slow. Hi, Arlene. Oh, excuse me. I feel like so tired. Yes. Did anybody do anything for Valentine's Day yesterday? What? Hubby Vic. Oh my gosh, I love his steak. So he made me steak yesterday with the best mashed potatoes I've ever had. It was so good. We keep it low key. We had the kids, so we just stayed home. Well, I was out I had showings all day. And then when I got home, he was preparing dinner. What did you guys do? Anything special, or you just like it's a regular day? Like we've been married for so long, every day is Valentine's Day. Like, why are you making that face, babe? Nika said this week did go by really fast. You felt it went fast for you? Yes, Janet, you haven't sent me the mashed potatoes recipe yet. It's nice when the hubby's a good cook. He wasn't always this way, but we evolved, right, Poppy? We evolved. He's making fun of me because I washed ground beef. Like I was trying to be all cute and I didn't know how to cook, and I washed ground beef. I ate it. But you did eat it. But we ate out a lot. In our earlier years together, we ate out a lot. They said evolve in the kitchen. Don't start. We're not doing another series. Don't egg him on. Janet, I watched the ground beef, Janet. I can't make this up. Hi, Blanca. Yes, steak dinner. Watching my videos in Del Webb and Horizons West. Did we do Del Webb and Horizons West? I know we sold there. I don't remember doing a video there. Maybe. Hey, Karen. Nika said, yes, it is because you were on vacation. When you're on vacation, I feel like the week goes by so fast. So fast. I'm actually gonna be in Ocala this week. I'm gonna tour the Kalesa's the townhomes. So that should be on the channel for next week. Yes, I know, Karen. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. Remember, I hopped from house to house to house, and when I did live with my mom, and I would try to learn, and she didn't want to teach me, and all this other stuff. So I really didn't like know how to cook. So when Vic and we've been together since I was 18 years old, and so I wanted to be cute and cook him dinner, and yeah, I thought you wash ground beef like you wash chicken and. So but no, I'm a pretty good cook now. I'm pretty I could throw it down in the kitchen now. um Karen said yay, wanted to see the inside of those. Yes, that's the plan. um I I have to go because I have to go anyways for one of my clients. They're moving from New York, and they already are under contract for Kalesa. They're actually gonna start off with the garnet, and I have to go to the design center for them. So I'm gonna FaceTime them while I'm at the design center so that they could choose their items for their house. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna have Vic do what he needs to do with the townhomes, and then I'll go ahead and I'll record the townhomes. Definitely would love to see you as our realtor. We're New Yorkers ourselves looking to move there. Yes, I love that. Hey, John. Karen said, I saw Wick getting an award from his bosses on the Kalesa website. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I really like working with Wick. I love to, he is just very transparent. He keeps me updated. So right now we also just helped one of our other clients from New York move. They're buying a house. They are building a gardenia. They were gonna build the larkspur, but then they were like, it's just gonna be 3 of us. I think the house is gonna be too big, so they're actually going with the gardenia. And so yeah, I'm working with Wit on that. We have a lot of New Yorkers. I love working with my up northern people. It's so funny. I heard one of the real estate agents in my office, they were asking, hey, do you know I have a client that's looking to sell their house in Staten Island? And I told Katrina, I was like, hold up. I told Katrina, I was like, who from Staten Island is calling another real estate agent and not me? Hello? I mean, really? So I thought that was interesting. But we really do love working with people from up north. Look, Katrina's laughing because I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying. I really do that. I'm like, Katrina. I'm like, who's calling another real estate agent and they living in Staten Island? Wait, Jana, you wash your ground meat? Karen, the gardenia is really nice. I mean, I prefer, I guess, because I like bigger, because the larkspur is a bigger home. I like the larkspur, but for a smaller family, I would say the gardenia is perfect. Hi, Rivera. Katrina said, but then we had another person contact us from Staten Island immediately. Yes, that is so true. So now we're starting to put videos on TikTok. Guys, TikTok is completely different from YouTube, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, I like YouTube because I like to go into detail with everything. It's a whole 30-minute show, right? TikTok, you got to be like this. And I be like, I feel like I'm doing a speed tour, and I be out of breath because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get in so much information, and Katrina and Vic are laughing at me. I'm like, it's a whole new world for me with TikTok, and doing like the short form. So yeah, we're getting used to that. But that's what she meant. Somebody from Staten Island saw my video, and I had a conversation with them, so that was cool. Janet, I know. Janet said the nerve. I know, Janet. That's what I was saying. Oh, okay, Janet. Why do you wash your ground beef, Janet? Karen said it's just me and my daughter and still preferred Larkspur because I just want the space. And with the Larkspur, you have a bigger kitchen. So I really, 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 really do like the Larkspur. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I do like the backyard, the back cover lanai for the gardenia. So you give and you take. Hi, Jose. So guys, the interest rates they're coming down. It said it's gonna come down even more within the next couple of months. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited for that. I have there's still some really good deals. Janet said bad habit. I have to wash all my meat. So Janet washes her ground beef. You see, I wasn't the only one. Vic said no judgment. And Janice said she could cook. Rivera, the two homes that I was mentioning, is in Ocala, in Calessa Township. That's what's the community called is Calessa. Yeah, so yeah, Calessa is a really, really nice community. We actually had somebody call us. She's actually a real estate agent up north, and she called us wanting to go check out Calessa. So I hi Clara. I got her with Wit, and Wit showed her some of the floor plans. So that was really good. Okay, hold on. Which one is that one? The all-purpose? Yeah, I think that's fine. But that's for the tacos? Yeah, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I think that so I have one of my clients, we were out all day yesterday. I thought it was so cool because her brother is from Pennsylvania. And well, not from Pennsylvania. He lives in Pennsylvania. No, yeah, he lives in Pennsylvania. He lives in Philly. And he's been watching my channel on YouTube. And they were actually going to surprise their mom with a house, right? They were all going to come together and buy her a house, which I think is amazing. So I was just with them yesterday. One of the best families that I have, like, so just light energy, so good. Their mom, oh my gosh, she speaks like 3 different languages. It was Creole, French, and even Spanish. Like, she was talking to me in Spanish, and you guys know that I speak Spanglish. I think she spoke better Spanish than I did. But we're working on possibly going under contract with uh with Risewell Builder. They used to be known as Land C. It's a really nice home. Yeah, Land C changed their, yeah. You didn't know that? Because, like, yeah. And they got some really good incentives going on right now, like even for a conventional loan, 4.99, and the first year is 3.99. So the first year, of course, your interest rate is going to be a lot less, probably like about $250. But year 2 to 30 would be the fixed rate of the 4.99. So we're seeing if we're going to work on that. So I'm excited for them. Janet asked if I went to go get my hair done. I did, Janet. Katrina came with me. It was, it was too cold for me. It was too cold. Literally, it was 5 degrees, but it felt like -14. Like, I was like, I don't know how I live like this. Give me 1 second. Would like to move forward. Hi, A-Rod. A-Rod said, hi, my wife and I are from New York. Janet, you like it? I love it. She does such a good job. That's why I travel to her, because it all blends in. You see that? Like, she does such, even Katrina was like, whoa. I don't like the process because it takes like 8 hours. And I'm not a big fan of just sitting there, but I was working, and it's so funny. I was like, Katrina, can you come with me? And Katrina's mom stopped by, her sister stopped by, her friends stopped by. We ended up going, staying at one of her other sister's house who lives in the Jersey, but it was still like an hour away from where we were. So yeah, it's horrible weather. I don't know how you guys live like that. Like, it should be against the law. No, seriously. Like, it was so cold that Katrina went to go get like, she went to the bakery and she walked in, no lie, it was like a 2 minute walk, and her face was like burning. It was frozen. It was so cold. See, Katrina said it was actually uncomfortable. You see what I mean? Where do you think the interest rates is headed? So I'm definitely thinking like mid fives. I don't know if we're gonna get into the fours. But they're slowly coming down, which is great. Janet said the other day, I said this cold weather should be illegal. It really should. Like, it was so crazy. And I haven't heard, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, you know how when you put the heat on and it sounds like somebody's banging against the pipe? I was like, wow, I haven't heard that in a really long time. When we got back off the plane, and I just felt like I felt so calm being in Florida. I'm like, this is home now. I'm a Floridian. Katrina and I were like, Are there any websites you recommend to find short-term rentals when I move down there? I just don't want to be rushed into buying a house. I mean, you could look on, of course, your VRBO. You could look on Airbnb, but you can also look on there's some websites that have like for nursing, like, because you know a lot of nurses that travel, there's like 3 month terms as far as rentals. You could look at those as well. Today we have 40 degrees, felt like a heat wave, but piles of snow everywhere. That's crazy. I was actually just talking to my grandma, and she was like, oh yeah, it's in the 40s. She was like, but it's nice outside. I'm like, really? Like, we today we were in the low 80s. Karen said, yeah, the temperatures have been brutal. And even so, I feel like the biggest we were, I think this was the coldest it got in a really long time here in Florida. But I love helping people relocate. That's like, I love helping people relocate to Florida. That's just, that's everything to me. I actually have a pool home coming up for sale. The house does need some work, so it's priced where it's at a great price. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage on a 1/4 acre, fully fenced in, really nice pool, nice size pool, and it already has the bird cage. It does need some work. It needs paint, and the bathrooms need to be updated. The floors need to be updated. So we priced it at 299,000, and that's in Auburndale, Florida. So it's about 25 minutes away from Davenport. So it's going like more south, like on if you were on your way to Tampa. Um, so yeah, that's coming up on the market. That should be on the market on Tuesday. We have a few listings in Ocala right now. So one is on a corner lot. It's actually a 3 bedroom, 3 bath house, fully fenced in. That one's priced at 335. Really, really nice house. And then we have one in 55 and over community. We actually are just going to reduce the price to 304. We have one on in Citrus Springs, brand new home. It's on almost 3/4 of an acre. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, just under 1,900 square feet. That one's priced at 385. And then we have one in Marion Oaks, which is a resale home. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, just under 1,600 square feet on a corner lot, fully fenced in, and it has a water filtration system as well. And that one is currently priced at 309. So we have quite a few homes that we're selling. Um, Clara said the areas you are showing homes, which ones offer growing job opportunities and growth? I mean, I feel like it depends on what price point you need to be in, right? So I think Ocala is definitely up and coming. It's a lot of growth. As Wit, just as an example, what Wit said the last time, where he said when they first started building in Kalesa, their most affordable option, and that was like 4 years ago, was I think like $185,000. That same house is going in for like the mid threes now, right? And then job opportunities, it just depends. There's a lot of stuff that is coming to Ocala, right? But there's a lot of people work from home as well. A lot of people are retired. You still have your hospitals. Of course, you still have your stores. And there are some people, like there's some clients that I have where they still, like, for example, I have one client who lives in Ocala but works in Disney World, and they just make the commute because they wanted to have that affordability with housing. But there's you have warehouses, you have doctors' offices, you have restaurants, you have what else? I said hospitals. Yeah, there's a lot. So the interest rates is high fives, low sixes, depending on what your credit score is. And I'm going based off Friday because I was speaking to Will. Yeah. So on this was Friday. Hold on. Yeah, this was Friday. A 30-year fixed conventional was on Friday was 6%. FHA was 5.62 and VA was 5.64. So they're saying that it's going to come 30% chance of another rate drop in April. So that's really good. A-Rod said, I'm Dominican and she's Puerto Rican, and we have two girls, 9 and 4. We're currently in North Carolina, but planning on moving to Central Florida. We'll be going to visit this spring break. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. So your girls are just like me, half and half. I know that I always say this, and if you guys watch my videos, that please don't go to, if you guys want to work with me or you guys have a real estate agent, right? Please don't go to the new community without your real estate agent. Please don't. Like, I promise you, you're not saving any money. You're not. We actually just had a scenario, which it was very, very disheartening, but somebody went ahead and they contacted Lennar directly. And as I mentioned before, like Lennar's like their agents don't like for the for clients, for buyers to have real estate agents. Why? Is because they make more money if you don't have a real estate agent. And guys, what I can tell you is that please just don't do it. So we actually had somebody reach out to Lennar directly, and the game over. Like, we could not help. They were like, absolutely not. And so I just really encourage you, don't go to any builders, don't go to any communities without your real estate agent. Don't type in your information online to get more information. That's how they get you. I can't make this up. You can ask Katrina. I don't know if she's still on here, but it's very, very unfortunate. And it's just it's just not a good situation. Do you think with the spring market, more homes come on the market will cause home prices to come down? Not necessarily, right? So it's going to depend on where the interest rates are. So if the interest rates start coming down, then the prices are going to just naturally come up. And then that's where you have, that's where you end up paying more money for the house, right? So I would say the lower the interest rates go, the higher the purchase price the higher the purchase prices are, right? And so spring is spring tends to be a hot market, man. A lot of houses come on the market, right? A lot of people tend to want to make a decision before the kids' school year is up, so that not even before the kids' not even before the kids' school year is up, before we start school here, because we start school here in August, right? So a lot of people are like, okay, I want to be in the house already before school starts, so I know which school the kids are going to and things like that. Whiskey, what's the matter? Sergio said, what incentives extra were you able to get for a new build on top of the builder's incentives? So it's always on a case by case basis. It's never the same, but it's always negotiating more, right? So for example, if the sales agent is being like is advertising, okay, we're giving $15,000 towards closing costs, we're giving you a 4.99 interest rate. Okay, number one, you want to know, okay, with that $15,000, are you using that $15,000 to pay down the interest rate for 4.99? That's a great question, right? Because then you also have to think about, well, okay, I still have the closing cost, okay? Sometimes where it's like, okay, the refrigerator, washer, dryer, and the blinds are not including in the house, okay? So there's a lot of there's room for negotiation. So that's why when you have somebody on your side, is like, we're gonna push the limit. Okay, what else can we get? You know. So yeah. So it honestly just depends. Either we're getting a price reduction, but I always say, don't always focus on a price reduction, because I personally would rather get you more closing cost incentives versus a price reduction. Because if we're reducing the price by $5,000, that's not making a big difference in your monthly payment versus getting an extra $5,000 towards closing costs. Now we're keeping 5,000 in your pocket, right? Now you could take that 5,000, get some new sofas, or whatever. So put that towards a fence, right? So that's why I always, and if I could do both, then we'll try that out too. Katrina said, yep, they played absolutely no games and they didn't allow us to get involved in the transaction whatsoever. I'm so serious. Does Adams Homes have a 3-bedroom, 3-bath similar to 4 bedrooms floor plan? Do you know of? I haven't seen an Adams Homes that is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. I've seen it where it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, but I haven't seen a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Hi, Bev. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Hi, Kelly. Hey, Jay. I'm looking for a 3-bedroom in Brandon. Jay, aren't we in contact with you? Because we've been sending you what you've asked for. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same person, but if not, I apologize. Hey, Phil. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's weekend. Guys, I want to just I'm not going to get into, but a lot of my people, a lot of my YouTube fam sent me text messages, sent me emails from the YouTube live that we had a few months ago. I mean, a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And I just appreciate the love. I really, really do. So I just wanted to make sure that I went ahead and I said that because it does not go unnoticed. Like, for you guys to take time out and send me a message, I really, really, really appreciate that. Serious. Hold on, 4:30. If not, 4:30. Yes, I know. Yeah, Jay. Jay. No, puppy, I've been drinking water, but I haven't had one of them. No, I haven't had one. Phil, thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate you and Renee. I really do. You guys are amazing. And I really, really appreciate it. I've been looking at the homes you have sent me. I'm still zoning in on these areas: Davenport, Haines City, Winter Haven, and Ocala. I think those are all great options. I think they give you, they each area gives you a little bit of a different different price point, right? So Ocala is going to give you where you don't, if you don't want HOA, right? And more space. Or of course they have communities there as well, like Kalesa Township, and a whole bunch of other ones. Davenport, I'm a little biased. I really do like Davenport. Just seeing the growth over here within the last going on 6 years. But could traffic be better? Absolutely. But they are extending the highway, the lanes on the highway, so it's been better. But I feel like there's traffic everywhere. Sergio said, you're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really, really do. So this week's videos, so Monday is going to be of the Lazio at Esplanade, at Central Lake Ranch in St. Cloud. So that one is a baby version. I like to call it like the baby version of the Palazzo, but it's not that baby. So maybe it's like the little brother of the Palazzo. So that's tomorrow. And then Tuesday, it's going to be of the Juniper floor plan built by Stanley Martin. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 1,900 square feet. So now, even in the video, what I say is that house you literally could get for $60,000 less in Haines City, in a community 15 minutes away, right? So you're always going to pay based on location. There's some houses that literally the same exact floor plan, right? From Davenport to St. Cloud, it would be $100,000 difference. And that's the same thing like in Wesley Chapel as well. So for example, I want to say that I saw that that they had an Esperanza Casa Fresca. So the Esperanza is the in-law suite built by Casa Fresca, right? They have that one. I want to say it was like in the 550s, right? But here in Davenport is like 450, so it could be like $100,000 difference. What's up, baby? Why are you obsessed with making cookies?
Well, we have no snacks here.
What do you mean we have no snacks? We just popcorn.
That is not a snack.
How is popcorn not a snack, kid?
That's for school.
Yeah, that's for school.
Oh my gosh.
Can you please make cookies? Yeah, please.
Please, if you make cookies, you have to make my recipe. You're not making no ChatGPT recipe. I'm sorry.
You can't. That was pretty good though.
No, it wasn't pretty good.
Hey, you not hate on me like that.
I'm not hating on you.
Hey.
Sergio said, finally putting our house on the market. I just couldn't convince the wife to move to Florida. So where are you guys moving? Beb said traffic is everywhere. Yeah, traffic is everywhere. Wishing you an experience of feeling like most days the sun rose. The difference was that today I felt like I was a part of it. Where is a good area for a single person for opportunities to meet new people? That's a good question. I'm not a single person. I mean, it depends, I guess, who you're looking for, right? Like, are you looking for somebody in the club? Are you looking, man, I mean, there's so many like downtown areas, like Winter Garden downtown. So you don't necessarily need to live there, right? But you can go, you can go hang out there. A lot of people like to hang out in downtown Winter Garden. Winter Park is beautiful. Of course, you have downtown Orlando. Even like Kissimmee, Margaritaville, Sunset Walk, where you have the movie theater. You could walk around. You have restaurants. You have Cold Stone to get ice cream and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I feel like, did you guys know, and I didn't even know this, that Facebook has kind of like a meeting people thing. Sometimes it comes up on my feed and I'm like, why is this coming up on my feed? Like, it's like, okay, I'm a single woman looking for this, and I don't know why that's coming up in my thing. But Miami, okay, still stuck here in Cali, Roseville. So you're gonna stay in Cali? Hey, Edith. Hi, Edwin. I mean, I met Vic on Facebook. I did meet Vic on Facebook. I slid into the DMs. I was like, you look familiar. And I had never seen him a day in my life. But that was like my way of getting in. Like, I slid to the DMs, right? Like, and we've been together 16, going on 17 years. So try sliding into somebody's DM. Does Casa Fresca still have a low interest rate? Yeah, so Casa Fresca has a bunch of different options. So a lot of people are doing the arm, like an arm, right? Like so there's an FHA 7-1 arm. I think I'm saying that right. So what does that mean? Okay. So for 7 years, you have a fixed interest rate, right? But that 8th year, the interest rate can go up depending on what the market looks like, but it cannot go up more than 1% each year. Some people like that because they're like, well, I'm going to refinance anyways, right? And then some people are like, I don't really want a rate that fluctuates, right? So I do have a client who decided that he wanted to go ahead and do the arm, and he knows everything, the lender. I made sure, because I was like, listen, I'm gonna need, because we actually was all in the same room, my client and the lender, and I was like, listen, I'm gonna need you to explain this arm to him so that he understands everything, and then he can make that decision, right? And he was like, my client was like, yeah, that's good for me. I'm gonna end up refinancing anyways. And I was like, okay. So it's not for everybody, but some people like it, or some people don't mind it, right? Pedro said, what is now considered a good rate? I mean, I feel like it's gonna depend on, I don't necessarily, for me, I feel like it's gonna depend on the what's the monthly mortgage, right? Is that comfortable? The lowest interest rate that I have seen that was a fixed interest rate was 3.99, and that was with DR Horton. I know Casa Fresca has that 3.75, but I think that's the one with the arm. Phil said, my sister and her husband met on Facebook. What does that mean? You have married what is that? Met on Facebook, you have married 24 years. They've been together 24 years? That's amazing. I love that. A person interested in buying a home, Citrus Springs or Silver Springs or Davenport, but would like to sell his home to buy cash, would the contractor be willing to wait till it's sold? Now, it depends, right? So again, especially in this market where the houses are not selling ASAP, right? It depends on what your average days on market are for your area, right? It's also going to depend on if the home is completed, right? If the home is not completed, you may have some leeway. But if you're looking in Citrus Springs, Silver Springs, most likely all those homes are almost move-in ready. But what I would say though is that they build those same exact houses in different lots in the same areas, right? And then a lot of the times, from my experience, a seller is not going to take their house off of the market for a buyer who doesn't have his house on the market, or if they have their house on the market, they'll have it under contract, right? Because that's a big risk. You just don't know when it's going to go under contract. So it really is going to depend. The big builders, absolutely not. You have to have your house under contract. good or bad idea to pay cash for a house. It just depends on what your, some people say don't pay all of your house, don't lock in your cash, right? Some people do it because they don't want to even have to think about a mortgage. So it's different. I think it's different for everyone. It depends on what your end goal is, right? And I would honestly speak to a financial advisor to see, look at everything, look at your assets, look at everything as a whole, right? Maybe not pay cash and maybe, invest in the stock market. I would definitely say speak to a financial advisor. But what I will say is that a lot of clients do pay for their house in cash because they're like, I don't want a mortgage. Hi, Margaret. New York market is very different. They sell quickly. I mean, I feel like it also depends too on where in New York, right? Because I have clients who, I actually have quite a few clients where they're like, oh yeah, my house is gonna sell really, really fast, right? But then their house is on the market and it's not selling very, very fast, right? So as I feel like it depends on the location, it depends on the condition of the house, and it depends on the price. Those are the three major factors. Anybody here thinking about buying in 2026? I know I have a few of my clients on here. I have Clara, I have Edith, Karen. Karen, what we thinking? Because, last time you were thinking about moving to Thailand. I have Jay on here. What if you give the down payment and earnest money? Would they wait for you to sell your home? In my experience, a lot of these sellers, builders will not. They won't. So unless I would say it's a case by case basis. It's gonna ultimately depend on the seller, right? I could tell you big builders, absolutely not. They won't do it. They won't even if your house is contingent upon the sale of your house, right? Okay, if the purchase is contingent upon the sale of your current house, right, and it's not on the market and under contract, the big builders will say no. Smaller sellers, you can see, right, it's gonna depend on the seller, but from what I've seen, they won't. Hi, Sarah. I have Sarah here. Jay, we sent you a few text messages. I'll let Katrina know to give you a call. Karen says 6 months here, 6 months there. Okay. Margaret says she wants to start the process this year. I love that. Are you familiar with building codes in Florida? By that, I mean, who is building with hurricane-proof windows, etc. So it's going to depend on the area, right? If you're more central, the building requirements are not the same as you are down south or on the coast, right? For example, if you purchase in like Punta Gorda, right, around that area, the houses need to come, especially with the brand new houses, they need to come with shutters. Okay, but if you come over here to Central Florida, that's not even a building requirement. So it's all going to depend on where. Yeah, Katrina said, hey Jay, we reached out multiple times and haven't heard back. So Jay, reply. Karen said probably more like 8 months there, the rest in Florida. Karen, I love that for you. I love that for you. Once the kids are grown and out the house, Vic and I, we're gonna be traveling. We working really hard, busting our butts now, but we gonna be traveling. Anybody else? Listen, guys. I don't know what it is, but I've had some clients tell me, and I think it's the most funniest, like realist thing ever. And I'm like, I feel you on that. Where they're like, listen, if my kids have kids and all this other stuff, I'm not like, no, there's no babysitting grandma over here. Like, you could drop them off for a few hours and then go pick them up, but like we're not. This is not grandma daycare over here. I think that's funny. I think that's how I want to be because I want to travel. I don't want to raise no more kids. Mm-mm. Where are most two-story homes being built? Is that safe for Florida? Anywhere in Florida? I mean, yeah, there's two-story homes everywhere. There are only a few handful, and the only one that I can think of right now that does block over block is DR Horton. Honestly, DR Horton gets a lot of slack. They were in the news because they man, and that's so unfortunate, and that's why I'm so like heavy on this, where they when they were pre-approving people for the loans for the houses, they the lenders were not projecting the using the projected taxes, and they were only doing the taxes based on the land. So what happened is that the second year the homeowners are now negative in their escrow, right? And you only got two options. Option number one is that you're going to pay the negative in a lump sum, right? And option number two is you're going to add that balance that you have to your mortgage and they divide it by 12. So people, no lie, there were people's mortgages were going up like $500, $600, $700 a month. And that's crazy. So there's a lawsuit out on for that. But a lot of people, they are like the number one home builder in the sense of because it's just they build the most homes, mass production, right? But I do like that they build block over block. My home currently is a DR Horton home. I think it's a great starter home, to be very honest with you, because they're very affordable. As I've said it this many times, I have a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house, not a huge house. We've already outgrown this house, but I paid $306, and the same house is probably going for like maybe $430. So they get a lot of slack. But Phil said that's what you say now, but when you're a grandparent, all you want is that baby. You said you tell your kids get away. I got it. Really, Phil? I don't know. I think it's because I got 6 kids, right? So I'm just ready to, and I've started really young. I started at 18, having kids. So, I don't know, Phil. Hopefully we won't, I was going to say, I'll let you know, but hopefully we don't need to even have that conversation for like maybe a decade. Hey, Billy. Sergio said that would be us too. Phil said you and Victor are younger. Yeah, we are. That's very true. We are younger. But like I look at my kids and guys, let me tell you something. This is a side note, right? So with my oldest son is 15, right? And he'll be like, oh, can I stay for tutoring or can I stay for practice or whatever. And I just be like, yeah, right? Because I'm just like I trust him, right? But then one day I was like, I said, what if he's really not going to tutoring, right? So I told Vic, I was like, hey, I said, we just letting this kid be like, oh, we're just saying yes. Like, oh, do we know, right? Like, because you have to have that little bit of doubt, right? And he was just like, we were like interrogating him, asking so many questions. And he's like, do you want me to send you a picture of where I'm at? And we were like, yes, do that. And he was like, and you guys could track me. And I was like, good point. I said, but no, I want to see where you at right now. Because listen, Me as a teenager, I was doing things that I had no business doing. I was places where I had no business being, and but I mean, two different environments, right? And two different, just like back in the day is completely different from now. So yeah, I thought that was so funny. I wanted to share it with you guys. What's the home insurance like for Central Florida? Are sellers receptive to paying for a new roof? So I wouldn't, if I personally, if there's a house that is, let's say it's a 20-year-old roof and the seller is not willing to put in a new roof, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, because your number one is going to be really hard to get insurance, and number two, if you do get it, you'll get a temporary insurance, and you have to, after you close, you have to install a new roof within a certain amount of time, right? So that's so funny that you asked that question. So I don't like to waste time. I really, really don't. I like to be as proactive as I possibly can. So one of my clients was sending me resale homes. And so before, especially when it comes to resale homes, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, how old is the AC? How old, number one, how old is the house? Okay. How old is the AC? How old is the water heater? Let's talk about plumbing, right? And let's see what the roof. So she sent me this one house, and I'm looking at all this information, and I was like, ooh, let's give me a second, because I need to look into this a little bit more, because it has nothing about a new roof, not in the seller's property disclosure, not in the realtor remarks. So I had to reach out to the listing agent. I'm like, hey, are you guys gonna put in a new roof? Because and she was like, oh yeah, we have a roof on standby. I was like, okay, say less, right? But they didn't end up going with the resale home anyways. So hold on. So yeah. So I personally wouldn't, but I've seen where, okay, I've seen a lot of remarks where, yes, seller is putting up a new roof before closing and all that other stuff. If you really, really, really love the house, you're gonna have to get like a really good credit or something. Or sometimes sellers are just like adamant, or they don't really need to sell, and they be like, I'm not putting a new roof, and I'm not giving you a closing cost credit. And now that's up to you whether you're gonna move forward with that or not. It's not up to me. Bev said, when you and your husband become empty nesters, all that will change. You will want children around because you can give them back. Really? They said trust but verify. Absolutely. I love that. How many grandchildren do you guys have? Max seller credit. Okay. I'm trying hard. This is what I have. 432. 5. Bev, you have 5? But I do be seeing like where there's some grandparents who are like really like their baby, like they're literally babysitting the their grandkids and all that other stuff. Like I never wanted to be like, well, I can't do something because I have to babysit the I don't know about that. I don't know. And again, I'm not in that situation, but I'm just saying from my perspective now, right? So I want to travel, guys. That's why I'm working so hard now, because I just want to travel. I want to travel with Vic. Phil said that's my sister and Grant's. We only babysit because we want to, and only then. I'm in Jacksonville area. Do you know of any realtors you would recommend this area? Yeah, I definitely do. Reach out to us, and we'll put you with one of our partner agents. We have a really good partner agent in Jacksonville. Katrina said we're gonna be older ladies traveling, living our best life. Yes. Phil said that's my sister and her grandson. Yeah, because I feel like there's and I've seen it for myself where there's some people like there's some kids. I don't even want to call them kids, but yeah, some people's kids where they just don't even ask for their parents to watch their kids. They just drop them off and like they go out, they're partying and all that. Karen said I traveled until I had my daughter at 42. Karen, you had your daughter at 42? Oh, so you lived the whole life before you had kids. She said once she's out of school, she can come with me, but I'm out of here enjoying the world. Ooh, clock it. I love that. I love that, Karen. I love that for you. You deserve it. Retirement, all of that, and just live your best life. I agree. But that's why, that's why I said, that's why I'm hustling now. So that we can Phil said Renee had just at 40. Really? You see that it probably is because I started very young. I got pregnant at 18 and I had my son at 19. Karen said, I retired at 56, now making big life moves. I love that. I love that, Karen. I really, really do. I think that's amazing. That's amazing. I got to position myself so that I have, I have the funds to retire. Bro, how long do you think that's going to take? Because it's already 6:30. That should have already been done. All right, anybody? I'm enjoying my granddaughters, and they grow up so quickly. I definitely want to be the grandparent who, of course, goes to the games and the plays and all that other stuff. Phil said, and a cookie conflict continues. Are you talking about me and my son? Aiden, he's like, can I make cookies? There's no desserts. Meanwhile, I was like, there's popcorn. He was like, that's not even a dessert. And look, it's 6:30. Look, it's 6:30, and he's gonna start on cookies at 8:00 at night. Yes, Phil, this boy. I've gotten to trust you and considering you for when I make my move to Central Florida. Is this realtor in Jacksonville as trustworthy to sell my home? Do you currently live in Jacksonville? Karen said, that's why I figured to take my Social Security check and combine with my city pension. Will be living life like it's golden for sure. I love that for you, Karen. I really do. Guys, don't forget, if you know anybody who's interested in moving to Florida, let them know about me. Okay? I'm just saying, I'm FaceTiming Aiden so that he could, if he's gonna make cookies, he needs to start now. It's 6:30. Sir?
Coming. I already heard your first sentence.
Oh, you already heard my first sentence? Okay, he hung up on the phone on me. Okay. No, you said I'm making my move to Central Florida. Is this realtor in Jacksonville as trustworthy to sell my home? Do you live in Jacksonville right now, or are you looking to move to Jacksonville? Katrina said, I want cookies. Margaret said, I will reach out to you so you can tell me where to start. Yes. Katrina said Alexis makes the best cookies ever. I do.
I make the best cookies.
No, you don't.
Katrina, what are you talking about?
In 2026. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I love that, you know, just like I said, I was with a family and they didn't even know of me, but their brother watches me from Philly. I think that's just so amazing. Gregorio said, I have a paid home here. Okay, in Jacksonville. So are you looking to sell that home and then purchase here in the Central Florida area? I mean, could I help you sell the home in Jacksonville? Absolutely, right? But I would do a lot of, you know, I wouldn't be boots on ground though. It's just too far out. But could I do the negotiating, the pictures, the marketing? Yeah, of course. Karen said my next door neighbor offered her cousin real estate agent in Ocala, but I told her under no circumstances. I already found an agent in Ocala. Ooh, girl, I will hope so, Karen. I will hope so. And guys, don't forget, I don't only cover Ocala. We sell a lot of homes in Ocala, but we cover from Ocala down to Tampa and everywhere in between. So if you like the Tampa Bay area and surrounding areas, Wesley Chapel, Lutz, Land Lakes, Riverview, all of that good stuff, Katrina is the girl for you. And she's dabbling into, like, you know, potentially Orlando and all that other stuff. She's trying to get me to Wesley Chapel, but Vic is like, absolutely not. Vic wants to move closer to Orlando. I read that some builders take a tax break in exchange for renting to Section 8 tenants. Does Kalesa? I have not seen that. Because so I think what you're talking about is some builders build communities, but they're only rentals, right? Vic and I were just talking about that today because he said that there's a Pulte is actually building a rental community in like the Davenport area by Posner Park. So I think that is maybe it. Ooh, Karen said, don't tell anyone, but my cousin is an agent in Tampa and I'm still using Evolve. Ooh, about a States group. Phil said I'm with Victor. Yeah, Phil. So we have an office in downtown Orlando. And you know, it's around like a lot of good people, the culture, you know. So he's like, I want to be closer to that. So our goal, and I just don't know the timeline yet, maybe 2 years, is that I want to rent this house and I want to buy another house. We just need a bigger house. I'm just not in the position to do that right now. So it's okay. Full of content. I love that. So any big plans for the week? This week is super busy for us. March we're going to Cabo because we go this is our third year, Paul? Third year? Yeah, our third year going to Cabo for a real estate event. That's the beginning of March. And then your girl was asked to speak on stage in Utah. So I'll be in Utah in the third week of March. And then I was asked to speak on stage in California. Who's evolving over here? So that same week, I'm going to go to California for a day or two. And then I was asked to speak for my brokerage, but towards like Fort Lauderdale. So I'll be there for like a day or two. So March is definitely very travel heavy. So let me tell you guys so that you guys don't get upset with me. Just keep it in mind. So, okay. March 8th, I won't have live. March 8th and March 15th, I won't have live because I would be traveling, okay? I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time, okay? Jet Setter, listen, who is this? I love that. I'm just, showing people what's possible, right? Being your true authentic self and being on YouTube and finding your community and your tribe. Like, guys, I love you guys. Like, you guys are my community, like my tribe. I love that we do live. So I'm super excited. Katrina, she can't host on the 8th because she's actually traveling with me. Maybe on the 15th, I'll ask her if she could do it. Katrina, Phil said, how about having Katrina host? So maybe the 15th she could do it. The 8th she's traveling with me. So that's my travel buddy. But she's not coming with me to Utah. When you moved from New York to Florida, was it an easy or hard move? It was the easiest move that I could make. Honestly, it took me 3 times to move to Florida. The 3rd time is where we finally were able to stay the first time. So I'll tell you how it went. So the first time when we moved to Florida, we lived with Vic's grandma for a little bit. We were, him and I were working at a call center together. We only had one son. That's my first baby. His grandma was helping us with him. We got our own little apartment and all this other stuff. And what's really, really weird, even though I never have had a close relationship with my mom. You guys know this, right? But it's kind of like, sometimes I use like references that really maybe I shouldn't, but that's kind of like the only way that I can. You know how when some people stay with their abuser, right? That's how I felt like with my mom, like, because I was still yearning for her love and her, her seeing, like, I wanted her to see me like, hi, hey, I'm here, your daughter. I want to have a mother-daughter relationship with you. Like, I want you to love me. So that like, I just wanted to be with her, right? So we ended up leaving Florida the first time and going back and being near my mom. Then the second time we moved to Florida, we lived with Vic's grandma for a little bit. And then, man, it was hard for us to find jobs that time. And it just so happened that second time, we got married in Florida. We actually got married in Florida. I conceived my second child in Florida. And then Vic was like, I really think we need to go to New York. I think his parents were in town for vacation. And he was like, I think we need to go back with them. I think we need to go back to New York. And I cried. We were at the gas station on 535. I would never forget this. And I was like, man, I really don't want to go back to New York. I want to stay here. And he's like, I think we need to go back. So we went back to New York. And we lived with his parents. And I'm not really good with living with people. So we ended up getting our own apartment on the same block because Vic found a job. So he went through an agency, and they was like, he went in for like a mailroom position, but they ended up trying him out somewhere else in the e-discovery realm. So he started with this job, and he went to the city. He worked in the city. And then I was like, why don't you ask if you could work remote, right? Because I really want to go to New York. Mind you, I had my second, no, I didn't have my second son. I was big belly and all. I had my first son. And he was like, all right, I'll ask if I could work from home. They let him work from home. I was like, say less. Because let me tell you, where I lived in an apartment building, but it was a house, but it had was it a house? No, it was an apartment building. I think it had 3 levels, and I was on the second level, but in like how you had to get to my apartment was like this little like hallway, and I shared this hallway with another person. Like, they were there and I was right here. And I think that person sold GRUGS because there was so many people in and out. And one time I was home alone with my son, and I hear screaming, and I'm looking through the peephole, and there's these girls dragging out another girl. They beating her up. And I'm like, nope. And we called the landlord, and I'm like, listen, if anything happens to us, we're gonna sue you. So you either we're gonna sue you, or you let us out of our lease. He was selling the building anyway. He let us out of our lease. I got an apartment down here in Hunters Creek. I ended up in Hunters Creek, which was the best place to start. And yeah, I've been here for 13 years. I had my son in December 26th, and in March, me and my friend, we drove down with the 2 kids to Florida, and then Vic came maybe like a week later with our stuff. And yeah, it was took us 3 times, but we made it happen. That was a long story. But yeah, I didn't mean to be that long. But yeah, that was our journey as far as Florida, and I never look back. I never look back. I love Florida. I think it's just a different it's a different environment. Like I feel like, no lie, like I feel like kids in New York grow up a lot faster, because it's just hustle and bustle, and you, like, I was taking the freaking train and the bus at a very young age, and I'm like, holy crap, right? So I like the pace of living here. Yes, Bev. That's my story on how I moved to Florida. Oh my gosh. Yes, Phil. Oh my gosh. I did make the best decision. Oh my gosh, I made the best decision. I really, really love it. Thank goodness he did. And look at God, you're thriving. Amen. Amen to that. Man, the evolution. That's why my company is called Evolve Estates. Is about the evolution. I think the evolution is so beautiful. That's why I'm in love with butterflies, right? Like the metamorphosis and just the how it goes from a caterpillar to a butterfly, and just, oh my gosh, I think change is beautiful. I think, seeing people in different aspects of their life, different growth is just so beautiful. And I'm glad for you guys to be here. I mean, I've been on YouTube for the past 3 years, and now, I'm on stages, and I'm working on coaching, like a coaching program to help agents. Vic, really? I'm saying for you, Vic does like AI and all that other stuff. He's very good with systems and all that. I'm talking about YouTube, babe.
No, I'm waiting on yours.
Yes. So I'm working on coaching so that I could coach other real estate agents to go ahead and, if I could, I always say this, if I could do this, anybody else could do this type of thing, right? And it's so cliche, but it's so true. So that's what I'm working on, because listen, guys, the truth of it is I don't want to sell real estate for the rest of my life, right? Like I want to build a team. I want to teach agents. I want to have different streams of income. And just and be, not only wealthy in money, but wealthy in love and relationships and health and life, right? And so if you guys follow me on my Instagram, I don't really talk about, like, I don't really talk to buyers and sellers. I talk to agents, and really just trying to help other agents evolve as well, right? Phil said you just wrote your next song. I love AI. Don't mess with AI. Thank you for the transparency. Listen, if it's one thing, I'm super real. Like I always say this, what you see is what you get with me. Like, Sarah said, grew up in the Heights and watched people go in and out of a basement for the same thing. Ooh, I felt that, Sarah. Clara said, I love your down to earth and genuine way of being. Thank you. I think Clara found me on TikTok. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm trying TikTok, and thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Karen said it's a winter break for my daughter, so it's a sleep in late week. Oh, I love that. Jess works for Disney. I want to be about 45 minutes away. Okay. Depending on the price, we can definitely discuss that. I love the energy and planning a move. I may need to reach out. Just can't choose between Tampa and Orlando. Well, depending, I don't even know how to say this. I don't know how to say your tag thing, but even if it's Tampa or Orlando, we cover both areas, so we got you. So either or, you can how do I book a consultation? But we are leaning towards Tampa area, hopefully by May 1st. Yeah, we can definitely book a Pandora, you can definitely book a time with us. So it would be me and Katrina, and then Katrina would actually be helping you in the Tampa area. Katrina is amazing. If you're new here, you'll see her on my on the channel as well. She's in a lot of the videos. Let me put the link for my calendar here. You just do a strategy session with us. Let me pin this. So this is our calendar. Oh, I don't even know why I can't pin it. I usually can pin it. Okay, I don't know why I can't pin it, but I just put it in the chat. That's our calendar. So you could just find a day and a time, whichever works best for you. We'll meet via Google Meet. Like I said, Katrina got your back. She's amazing. Yeah, she covers the Tampa Bay area. So Wesley Chapel, like I said, all of those surrounding areas as well. So you'll be in really good hands. Is there any questions I can help answered? We're already an hour and 15 minutes in. This is crazy. I'm gonna finish cooking dinner for the kids. Tacos is tonight. We have this like Mexican place in Haines City. It's kind of like a grocery store, but they actually sell hot food there too. Anyways, they make fresh tortillas. So anytime we're gonna have tacos, we go and we get the tortillas, which Vic is. Babe, are you eating that plane? Oh my gosh. All right. Anyways, so it's called El Zocalo. They actually have a fish spot right next door where you can choose fresh fish and they'll go ahead and cook it for you too. So that's in Haines City. Guys, a lot of people are sleeping on Haines City. Haines City is going to be the next Davenport. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a really, 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 really long time. Anyways, I could be here chopping it up with you for the rest of the night, but I got to feed these kids, okay? I love you guys so much. Remember, we are trying to hit 100 transactions this year. So if you know somebody that's looking to purchase or sell their property here in the Central Florida area, from Ocala down to Tampa, everywhere in between, we are your people, okay? There's a lot of good schools in Davenport, Haines City. There's a lot of different options, charter schools, private schools, and even public schools. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing week. We will be on next week and Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Have a great week, guys.